I'm Justin Walsh.
And I'm Jack Osmer.
And welcome to the third edition of Raider News. Let's get into it.
Our first segment is an interview with our Student of the Month, Arthur Worrell. Let's go check it out.
Hi, Raider News. I'm here with Student of the Month, Arthur Worrell. How are you doing today, Arthur?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm good. Congratulations on being Student of the Month, first of all. Like, how does it feel now?
You know, it feels pretty good. It's an honor. I appreciate it.
Pretty well. So what do you think is your favorite class that you're in right now?
My favorite class would probably be philosophy. You know, it's cool to talk about the different controversies concerning like who we are and what we're made of. I think that it's an interesting class to get into.
That sounds really interesting. And now, as Student of the Month, you probably you have extracurricular activities too, right? You play sports?
Yeah, I play like basketball, you know, by myself and JCC too. But you know, I'm always working out outside of school, going to the gym and whatnot. And I'm also president of the Black Student Union, so I get involved in things outside of school and in school too.
How do you balance your extracurriculars with your schoolwork?
It's really just time management, you know, finding time to do everything I want to do. You know, I think I kind of struggled with that earlier when I was in high school, but, you know, you figure it out by the end.
Would that be your advice to younger students who want to achieve Student of the Month or be a good student like yourself? Just time management?
Yeah, time management is a good part of it. And another big part of it is kind of just figuring out what you want to do too, because I think that something that really benefited me this year was taking classes that I just knew I'd like, you know, think I'd appreciate. So that's a big part of it.
Speaking of what you want to do you have any plans for next year? You know, as a senior, we're getting ready to leave the high school. So what do you see in the future for yourself?
Well, you know, I'm applying to a couple of colleges. I want to get into film. You know, that's something that I've always wanted to do. I'm a pretty talented writer, so I want to write, maybe direct films, and I'm excited to get into this next phase of my life.
That's actually really interesting. Okay, so last question. On a classic Friday night, you have nothing to do, no extracurriculars, no sports, no working out, nothing. Where can we find you and what are you doing?
I'm probably hanging out with friends, or I'm getting into movies, you know, just watching a couple. You know, I love doing it in my spare time, so it's something I enjoy.
All right, thanks, Arthur. All right, back to the studio.
Every 2 years, SPFHS inducts notable alumni into their Hall of Fame. Let's go check out the 2018 class.
On Tuesday, December 11th, Scotch Plains-Fanwood High School hosted their annual Hall of Fame inductions, where past SPF students who have gone on to do great things are nominated and inducted into the SPF-HS Hall of Fame. Many members of our Scotch Plains community were there to support the nominees. The first nominee was Jamie Novak. Miss Novak graduated in 1990 and is an author and TV personality.
And so as I was sort of reminiscing and looking through all of these different treasures and pieces that I've kept through the years, I started to wonder if you too might think, as sitting in the classroom, I wonder if I'll use all these skills in my life. Once I graduate and go on, will I be taking all of the things that I'm learning and actually apply them in my day-to-day living? And I'm here to tell you, you probably will.
Following Miss Novak was David Blitzer, who was part of the class of 1987. Mr. Blitzer is a partial owner of the New Jersey Devils and Philadelphia 76ers.
But look, I just want to say a couple of words about Scotch Plains-Fanwood High School. I mean, it's where I developed my closest friendships. A lot of my friends actually made it out. Very cool of you all. And to this day, some of my best friends, many of my best friends, are all still from Scotch Plains-Fanwood High School.
Then former Governor Don DeFrancesco and graduate of SPFHS gave a speech about Joe Scarpati. Mr. Scarpati was part of the class of 1960 and was a former NFL player.
Joe's famous for his football skills, you know, traditionally, but as someone who was in the school at that time, Joe was a leader in that school, was kind of the face of our school for a couple of years. I mean, he transferred from, fortunately for us, he came from North Plainfield and came to play 3 sports for us, not just football. He played basketball and baseball too. So he was, I mean, I think people would run through walls for him if he asked them to. He was that kind of leader, not just had good football skills, but he was a tough guy and his leader.
But as I look back on that time, because the teachers, the coaches, all kind of accepted me. And I remember one teacher, she said, Joe, if you would just work a little harder, you could do so much better. And I kind of took it to heart and tried to do, since nobody knew me, I worked a little harder. And lo and behold, I look back on that time now and say that I became a better student from that time on, because I really focused on it, and I really, all through college as well.
And finally, Dr. Heisey concluded the ceremony with some nice words.
Patty, I think that's a great way to end the evening. I've mentioned about role models and motivation, and I couldn't have said it better myself. So that concludes the evening. Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. Thank you, and congratulations to our inductees.
Time for this month's edition of Teacher of the Month. English teacher, BSU advisor. This month, Rachel DiFabrizio sat down with Ms. Patron.
Hi, I'm Rachel DeFab, and I'm here with Ms. Patron. Ms. Patron, what is your favorite part about being a teacher?
The students are definitely my favorite part about teaching. I like being able to have juniors and seniors and seeing the progress between junior year and senior year. And I love being able to see how students gain confidence in their writing throughout the class and become better writers.
Do you see like a big difference from the students you have junior year to the students you have senior year?
Well, this year I have a lot of my students from last year, and I totally notice like huge progress within them, just as peoples and as students. So yeah.
I hear you like to let your students meditate. How do you think that benefits them in class?
I think that it gives them the sense that I'm on their side and that I care about their well-being, and that I understand they might be stressed out or overwhelmed, and that my job isn't to add to that stress but to help them regulate it and hopefully teach them that they can regulate their emotions and, take time for themselves.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
This past month, DECA organized their second annual car crash simulation for all seniors. The goal of this scenario was to warn seniors about the dangers of drinking and driving. Let's check it out.
Take a seat. I got her, okay? Sit. Yeah, we were in the car. Man, sit down on the curb. You have a head injury. Hang it over there for a down. Are you driving? You're the driver? Who else in the car? Right here? You got 2 head injuries over here on the curb? Okay. Hey, are you driving? Go ahead. Stand up. One drink.
No, we're just drinking. We were drinking a little bit. It wasn't that much. We were just driving and we just drank a little bit. We didn't have that much to drink. It was, I don't know, vodka. I don't know. He just brought it. We just wanted to have some and shut up, Katie.
Wait, what everybody just saw, obviously it's a reenactment. So what is a reenactment of? A car crash that we take far too often. A teenager, in this case, was drinking and driving with their friend, and the friend got hurt, and now is dead. Okay? Car crashes are second leading reason why teenagers die with accidents, crashes, okay? And why is that? Part of it is distracted driving, such as cell phone use, talking to your friends in the back, doing risky behaviors such as speeding, okay? Not using the seatbelt properly. All the things that we always drill into your head. This is what happens. So this response today is exactly the response that you would see from the police, from the fire department, from the paramedics. That driver in this case, in this scenario, was handcuffed from the back of the ambulance, getting charged with DUI, just on the spot right away, before the the investigation even started. Okay? We want you to think about a couple things. First, think about going to jail over a silly decision that you made. Okay? Now you're sitting in jail because you decided to drink, drive, smoke before you drove, and now your friend's dead. You're going to sit there while your friends go on to college, create relationships with people, and move forward and get a good job. And you're sitting around in the cell. Think about the guilt that you're going to have. Okay? Your family, your parents, your brothers and sisters, now their little brothers and sisters, they lost that person. Okay? Can this happen in Fanwood? Scotch Plains? Absolutely. Just a couple years ago on Cooper Road, similar incident. All right? High school driver crashed, passed away. He's no longer with us. Just want you to really think about the different options that you have before you get behind the wheel. Certain things that you can do, you can't do. And if this situation, if we could just be in the back of your mind when you go off to college, after prom, that's all we want to do.
All right, next week we'll be hosting our annual live Raider News Holiday Special, and you better believe it's going to be our best one yet. Let's check out a sneak preview of the event.
So what is the best Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
Ooh. When I was in middle school, we had something called the Connects Big Ball Factory. It was basically this giant machine of like 3,000 pieces that was as tall as I was at the time, and it was really awesome just being able to build that whole thing.
Really interesting, thank you. What is the best Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
The best Christmas gift? Probably when I was little. I got a trampoline, but then I broke my ankle, so then my dad got rid of it. But trampoline.
A phone. Oh, one year I got tickets to Justin Bieber, and then he canceled his tour, so I didn't get to go.
Wow, you kind of sprung this on me. Money, probably. Yeah, because you can do whatever you want with it.
Thank you. The best Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
A bike. A bicycle.
Thanks.
PS4.
Probably when I got my first phone.
Thanks.
Best I ever gotten. I got a pretty good scooter when I was in elementary school. It's pretty good, pretty sweet. Still.
Probably my Barbie dream house. When I was 7, I was obsessed with my Barbies then, so that was my favorite gift ever.
Let's check in with David Schulman and his local politics segment.
Election day happened this last month, and I will say the people have spoken. Not only will Scotch Plains and Fanwood residents be seeing new faces on their councils, we will also be seeing a new representative in office for the 7th District. Tom Malinowski unseated 4-term councilman Leonard Lance in a very heated campaign, costing over in total $4.5 million. On the local level, Scotch Plains residences will be represented by 3 new councilmen, Josh Lasardo, Rock White, and Elizabeth Stamler. And Fanwood residences will be seeing Tricia Walsh alongside incumbent Aaron Elroy Barker. Alice is fortunate enough to get an interview with Councilman-elect Josh Lasardo. What was your initial reaction when you won the seat to the Scotch Plains Council?
I was pleasantly shocked that we won the election, that all 3 of us won the election. I was thrilled. All 3 of us worked really hard campaigning, and we hoped for success, but it's such a small town, and so many people seem to just know the candidates, and I heard that when I was going door to door, so I was not expecting all 3 of us to prevail, and was just thrilled.
What were the big successes when campaigning in Scotch Plains?
Very hard going door to door. Labor Day weekend we started, we went to the feast, we all were volunteers at the feast. A lot of it was rained out unfortunately, but we used that weekend as our starting point to campaign, and immediately thereafter just started knocking on doors, introducing ourselves to our neighbors. There are parts of town where the homes are close together and it was nice and easy, and other parts where we couldn't hit as many homes as we wanted to in the time we had available, balancing work and family along with campaigning. I think we got a lot of success going door to door, where I was able to interact with people. I felt good about things. If they gave me a chance to speak, I explained where I was coming from, why I wanted to run. Sometimes they closed the door on our face, and it made you feel like, what am I doing this for? But all in all, I think the biggest success was having that opportunity with as many voters as possible, going door to door.
What are you planning on achieving as councilman?
As councilman, I anticipate working in a bipartisan way with the mayor and the deputy mayor, always doing what is right for Scotch Plains. There are a lot of important issues affecting the town and before the council right now, including, most important, the downtown redevelopment and affordable housing. We would like to see these matters handled responsibly, where we're working together, always doing what's right for the town. I anticipate most votes being 5-0 because we all want what's right.
Are you in favor of the downtown redevelopment plans that the council has recently endorsed?
Yes, I'm in favor of our downtown redevelopment plan. I think it's terrific that the council worked in a bipartisan manner with the Downtown Redevelopment Committee to bring us to where we are right now. Just this morning, I attended a meeting with Mayor Smith that allowed developers to ask questions of the town attorney and the town planner because it's finally underway, the redevelopment of downtown Scotch Plains. During the election, the Democrats were portrayed as obstructionists, and let me be clear, that's not the case. Our downtown does need work. What we want to make sure doesn't happen is overbuilding. We don't want Park Avenue to have buildings that make it that just completely change Scotch Plains from the small town feel that it is right now. And we want to be careful as we're going forward that the units that we build on Park Avenue, the commercial units I'm thinking about, have the right use so that they're actually rented, generating jobs, generating revenue. As we met people going door to door, we heard that we need restaurants and we need coffee shops and maybe an ice cream shop and that sort of thing, and that sounds wonderful. I think it's unlikely for retail shops to be successful in this age. And in addition, when our downtown is located so close to 22 and new shopping centers just going up, just being built now up the road. So we, as long as we're careful and responsible, we can create a downtown that's vibrant and make Scotch Plains even better than it is today.
Is there anything you want to say to high school students before we sign off?
Life goes by really fast. It feels like a short time ago I was in your shoes. Looking back, I gained the most experience working for free as an intern. As a kid, I worked for Congressman Chuck Schumer in Brooklyn, and I think that's where I got my feet wet in politics. I wound up going to law school and becoming a lawyer, and not going right away into it. But here I am, 25 years later, trying for the first time. And during the campaign, I thought back to that internship. I found it extremely valuable. I have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old, and as they're getting older, I'm motivating them to take advantage of me. They're living for free. They're not paying rent. Now is the time to work for free, make contacts, get the experience. You'll be surprised how it follows you throughout your whole life.
This month, Junior Statesmen of America went on a trip to Woodbridge for a conference known as Fall State. The keynote speaker of that conference was none other than Tom Kean Jr., the minority leader of the New Jersey Senate. He talked about the importance of compromise and listening to the opposing side of a debate. He used phrases such as building bridges to describe unity and consideration for other opinions. During this conference, Senior Vadim Gorbati was awarded Best Speaker during one of the debates relating to censorship. This was the first Best Speaker winner from Scotch Plains in 2 years. Thank you for having me on the show, David Schulman, Raider News. How was that?
Ever wonder what the SPFHS Interact Club is all about? So do I. Let's check out a quick introduction to what this club is all about.
Spiffy High is home to over 60 clubs, covering a wide variety of topics and interests. One lesser-known club in the school is the Interact Club. Meeting twice a month with over 30 members, the Interact Club has been a staple at the school for years.
We're a club that works closely with the Rotary, and we do a lot of different service projects that benefit both the community, the school, and Rotary as a whole.
I joined the club because I wanted to help out the community and just take part in the service activities that we do and Interact, because I thought they were really important, like the causes behind them.
Some big service projects we do are Beads of Hope. We do that all year round. We usually go to like the Y, or even in school we help sell beads that are made from the Ugandan women. We sell them, and that money goes back to them for their own benefits. And another big one we do is the luminary sales. Around like the holiday season, we help sell the luminaries with the Rotary Club. So that's like, those are the big projects that we do.
As an officer, we all sort of get together and we plan service activities for the club to do, and we support our members in doing the volunteer activities and just show them like how to help the community, and yeah.
As an officer of the club, I can testify that this staff is one of the hardest working in the school. If anyone is interested in joining, please contact Ms. Noda Gordon through her office or her email.
Now over to Arts and Entertainment with Julie Zukowski.
Thanks, Justin Walsh. We interviewed Matt Mamet for Featured Artist of the Month. He recently got the lead role in Mamma Mia. Congrats, Matt. Let's check out his interview.
Great shroud of sea, and the sharks start nibbling away like me mother's kisses. Mother! You left me on the steps of a tattoo parlor, wrapped in a half-eaten bag of fish and chips. A note tied round me neck. Orphan Bill Snipe, too wicked and well.
I'm Lauren Barth with Radar News, here with Featured Artist of the Month for December, Matt Mamet. How are you?
I'm doing great, Lauren. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. So we just came to talk to you a little bit about what you do in the music department. We'll start with what's behind me, Peter and the Starcatcher, which just ended in the beginning of November. And do you want to talk about your role in that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So, I played Bill Slank in Peter and the Starcatcher, which is one of the evil pirates, and it was very interesting. And I got to explore a new side of my acting, where I was more abrupt and angry and temperamental, and it was a good way to like express myself in a different manner than I usually do.
This is a good answer. And, you know, we just got the cast list posted for Mamma Mia coming in March, and Matt got a pretty big role this year. You want to talk about that and what you're excited for?
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for our spring musical. I got cast as Sam Carmichael. That's one of the dads, so I'm very excited. We got a lot of work ahead of us. The whole production takes a super long time. It's a ridiculous amount of work, but it's all worth it, and I'm super excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah.
And so now you're a senior, and you know you've been involved in so much of the stuff since like freshman year. How do you feel about being a senior, and what's next for you?
It's pretty good. I do enjoy being a senior. What's next? I don't know. It's a mystery.
With the fall season coming to an end, we reviewed the fall play. Let's go check it out.
I'm with Raina Jablon, a senior here at SPFHS, and she just took a part in the play at Scotch Plains Fairwood High School. So can you tell me a little bit about the play?
Yeah, so basically it's a prequel to Peter Pan. So it's everything that happens leading up to like the classic Peter Pan story. And it was sort of like a fun musical comedy play.
This year we actually got a new director because our theater, the whole theater department got a new guy to do it, and I'm really excited. Even though this is my last year doing it, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next.
How do you think that went?
I think it actually went really well. I think everybody really came together and pulled the show together.
So you were in the play this past weekend?
I was.
Did you have a role?
Yes, my name was Hawking Clam. I played Sanchez.
So how was that role?
It was really fun, even though I didn't have a lot, but everyone was really nice.
I was in the ensemble, and I also kind of played Gremkin a little bit in the beginning, which is like, he was like the orphan keeper, kind of.
So was this your first performance, or have you been in the musical or the fall play in the past?
I've been in Once Upon a Mattress last year, and I was also in Almost Maid.
So I know you played one of the main characters. How did you like playing that role? I know it was very like, I feel like you always do a lot of pelvic action. I think that's very funny. I like that. So how did you like the role?
I thought it was so much fun. The character precursor to Captain Hook, and he's just ridiculous in every way, and just does a whole bunch of goofy stuff.
So how did you like the play this year?
I liked it a lot. It was a really good time. Very stressful because it was a very tight schedule, but we got it all together in the end, and it worked out really well.
Anything funky to add?
If you're an underclassman, join. It's pretty fun.
Even if you don't have acting experience and if you're interested, like, I would really say go for it. It's super fun. I think it'll definitely be worth your time.
I heard you watched the play on Saturday, did you?
Yes, with my friend Jacob and Grandma Shulman. It was a great play that I've been watching because it was so cool.
So you liked the play?
Yes, I was.
What was your favorite part?
Peter Pan and be Casper.
Oh, okay, cool. Nice hearing from you.
Nice hearing from you too.
I grew really attached to the fall play. I thought it was a lot more intimate than the musical, where it's easily a cast above 50 people. So I would definitely say I'm going to miss it. It gave you a closer connection to your castmates, and we got to know our director, who's new this year, really well. So I'm going to miss it with heavy heart.
Definitely.
Now over to Chris Bagdonis with sports.
Thanks, Julie Zukowski. Although the winter season might not have gone off to its best start, let's check out how the Raiders are doing. The hockey team currently has a record of 1-5. Led by seniors Will White and Jack Pedersen, they had a rough opening game against GL where they suffered the game-winning goal with less than 2 minutes to play. As well, they recently fell to Westfield, where a comeback came short after losing big for most of the game. Boys basketball has not played any games yet. However, they are led by seniors Anthony Porter and Danny Wright. There is a big senior absence on the team, however, as many talented players left last year. But they did go up a division, so there is some new competition that the Raiders will have to face. Girls basketball also has not played any games. They are led by Brenna McNamara and our very own Abby Saperstein. And they have only played scrimmages and practices up to this point, but after speaking to some players, there is a belief that they can go really far in the state and county tournaments. And boys swimming, they're currently 3-0, and again, they're looking to have another excellent season, led by Division I commit Josh Cohen. And they recently won against Chatham, and they're looking to keep that momentum moving forward. As for the girls, they're also 3-0, led by our very own Rachel DeFab and Caroline Warren. And they're also looking to carry some hot momentum into the county and state tournaments, where they also believe they have a chance to win it all. They have a handful of seniors, not many, but they have many talented juniors and underclassmen. As well, they won against Chatham in a close finish. And as well, both swimming teams have had pasta nights regularly, and team chemistry has been going up. Both the boys and girls track teams have not really started their seasons yet, but they are practicing and working very hard, and they believe they can make some noise in the tournaments down the stretch. Bowling is currently 1-1. Led by Jimmy Bagdonis and Ryan Ackerman. They lost some really talented seniors last year. As well, they were looking to have some strong seasons from Ben Fox and John Williamson. However, they left the team to pursue other interests. Back to you, Justin.
All right, thanks, Chris. And this concludes this episode of Raider News. Make sure you tune in next week for our annual live holiday special.
If you don't, you're a major loser.
Major loser. See you next time.